NRL vids 090 back here with another Manly Seagulls round 4 review, and obviously last night Manly lost to the Panthers 46-6. Now, the reason why I didn't upload this review right after the game ended was because I wasn't in the mood. I was obviously pretty disappointed as a Manly fan, and look, I just needed to. I guess I needed to like kind of relax and just start doing this the next day, which is today. So sorry about my overreaction to on the live stream by me throwing and kicking Manly gear because obviously it was a very stressful game for all Manly fans, including myself. So I'm sorry about the overreaction there, but look, I'm just keen to talk about my thoughts on last night's game and what things I think need to improve. So let's get into it quickly. So. In the opening 4 minutes of the match, Nathan Cleary obviously got some sort of 40-20, I'm pretty sure. And then from the scrum feed, Panthers scored straight away through Brian To'o. And when Brian To'o got the ball, he was stepped around Jason Saab, and Saab missed him. Then he stepped around Dylan Walker at fullback, I think, and then Brian To'o goes in early. And Panthers are already up 6. No, they missed the first kick, so it was 4-0 in the opening 4 minutes, which wasn't good. And Panthers score again the next set, and the set after they scored from the next set from the kickoff. So I think it's Manly's lack of desire and effort to just turn up. I think whenever another team scores against them, their confidence is pretty shot. So I think it's a confidence thing. Manly aren't playing well. I think it's a real confidence thing, and I think that. Despite us missing some players, it's still no excuse to be pumped by 30 or 40 every week, So anyway, it was half time. Panthers led 22-6. And I was thinking on my live stream, like even if you're watching my live stream, I was like fuming. I was like saying that the boys don't want to turn up. I think there's a lot of pedestrians in that team, like Brad Parker. He's not first grade quality at all. I mean, he was rated really high as a youngster, but since then he has not really showing much. I think he's more of a backup player, to be fair. So I think that he's got to have a spell in Blacktown. So is Moses Sully. Moses Sully used to be a beast in 2019 and all that, but that's only his one good year. So Moses Sully's going to come down as that category as a one-year wonder sort of player. So unfortunately for Sully, he might have to have a break as well in reserve grade, but he hurt his back in the game, so he might have to miss a week or something. But also, Jason Saab, I like Jason Saab. I think Saab has got a big future at Manly, but still, his defensive reads were pretty poor. I thought that every time the Panthers were attacking his side, he struggled to maintain his defense and maintain ground. But maybe it's because Moses Sully every time kept rushing up, and that's obviously left Jason Saab as the one person defending 2 or 3 players from the Panthers, so made it a bit harder because it caused a bit of an overlap when Sully ran up, so not good there. But I did notice during the game though that Moses Sully did move to the left side with Kieran Foran, which I think was a bit better, but didn't make any difference to the game, of course, and it looked like that Brad Parker moved to the other side of the right centre with Jason Saab, and look, it didn't do much either, but I think it was just better than having Sully and Saab, because I don't think Sully and Saab really gel, to be honest, and neither do Garrick and Parker. I mean, that's just a joke, that combination. So a lot of things have to be fixed with Manning's edges and all that. I think all fans want answers from Des Hasler, and I think if Des gets pumped by, let's say next week when we play Warriors, we lose by 40, and if we keep down the track, if we keep losing by 30 or 40, I think Des will be out the door. I think Des is under a lot of pressure. I don't see him staying at Manly long if we keep losing. So Des got to turn around really quickly. I know Des is a good coach. I know Des can get us out of this, but if he keeps playing the same team every week, such as Dylan Walker at fullback, where he should be playing right centre with Cherry Evans on the same side, reunite the 2017 combination where Cherry Evans and Dylan Walker had the best year together on that right edge, and then they keep picking Moses Sully in there because Moses Sully needs to get his head together. He needs to have a break in Blacktown, I believe. I think Morgan Harper showed some rare quality for a young player. So I think Morgan Harper deserves his go in the centres, in my opinion. And then Ruben Garrick, I think Ruben Garrick's been a little bit better when I have better backs, but still every time he runs the ball, he gets ragdolled and he gets thrown to the ground. He doesn't seem to be really engaged. Doesn't really seem to do much. So I think a young guy we signed from the Roosters. I don't know if any of you guys will know who he is, but Christian Tuipolotu is a young guy we signed from the Roosters on a 4-year deal, I believe. So that means the club has some really big ratings and rate Christian really highly. So and I think he should play on the wing instead of Ruben Garrick. So that's what I'd do. And Brad Parker to be dropped. So that's why I said Dylan Walker to the centre, to Brad Parker to Blacktown as well. We have Tavia Funa playing fullback, but I heard Tom Turbo's will be back next week, so that's obviously going to help a lot. But he can't save the team by himself, surely. So a lot of problems for me, a lot of disappointments in many areas. I think our forward pack is obviously pretty good. I think Josh Alawai needs to start next week. I think Josh Alawai is a definite starter. He really impressed me last night in a couple of games as well. He's made some meters. He's a tough front rower. I think Paseka's good, but I think he's more utilised better off the bench because of his impact and how big he is. I think he'd be better off the bench. Paseka and Alawai to start. I think in the back row as well, Morgan Boyle was an absolute waste in the back row. I would not put Morgan Boyle there again. What creativity does he have for a back rower? Can he even pass? Can Morgan Boyle even pass? He's just average Morgan Boyle. He's nothing more than a Blacktown player as well. So don't get it. But either way, Manly don't have much options to pick in the back row stocks because Curtis Siren's out and Andrew Davies. So obviously that's why Boyle had to start in the back row and Jack Zeski was moved to the bench before kickoff. But still not good enough. And look, Josh Schuster as well, the other back rower. He actually impresses me, but he still makes some defensive misses as well. So he's definitely a 5'8" for playing out of position at this stage. And he's still young. I think he deserves a spot in first grade somewhere, but it's off the bench only, not starting though. But I think the forward pack's better than the back line at the moment. Put it that way. Jake Trbojevic. Now I want to address some sort of issue. How come before half time when Panthers scored and made it 22-6? Jake Trbojevic was doing a great job. He was screaming at all the Manly players. He was trying to fire them up before half time, and then all the Manly players like Kieran Foran, Cherry Evans, Jason Saab, and the rest of the boys were all looking at Nathan Cleary kicking the goal, doing the goal kick before half time. And Jake Trbojevic was the only one screaming. He was basically talking to himself. I was like, what the fuck? No one was listening to Jake Trbojevic, unfortunately. I don't know if Cherry Evans, I love Cherry Evans, my favourite player, as we all know, but I don't know if Cherry Evans is that sort of guy who would talk in front of everyone and he would fire them up. I don't know if Cherry Evans is that sort of guy. I think Jake Trbojevic is more that guy who obviously has a bit more in him, who is a passionate sort of leader who will give 100% every week. And Cherry Evans is the exact same. He gives 100% every week, but I'd say Jake at this stage is a better leader, and I think Jake should definitely be the captain at this stage. Maybe stripping the captaincy off Daly Cherry Evans would maybe relieve a bit of pressure off him. I'm not sure, but obviously something has to change around that sort of capacity. But I think Jake should be captain. I think he's well deserved to be a leader, or at least be in some sort of leadership capacity. But still, Cherry Evans, a great player, but maybe stripping him off the captaincy might do him some good. There's some other issues I have to talk about. Look, there's not much more to say really. I think Manly are just a complete shock club at the moment. Maybe when we get Tom Trbojevic back, maybe when we get Manase Fino back, fingers crossed from his upcoming trial coming up. And hopefully we get Carl Lawson back in a couple of weeks, who we signed from the Warriors as a hooker. Hopefully those things can all help us, and so is Curtis Siren coming back in another 2 weeks, I believe, from a knee injury. So hopefully he can provide something as well. But last night's performance was obviously dismal. I think Des needs to make some changes. I think after weeks and weeks of keeping the same team, I think it's time for Des to swing the axe and make some changes. I think some of those boys in the team don't really want to try. Every time Jake or someone was talking to them at half time or on the field, none of the boys listened. All the boys were looking in the air, looking behind them. They didn't want to listen to Jake or whoever was talking at half time, or no one was listening, no one was paying attention. It means that there's a lot of bad signs at the club, a lot of not confident players there, so that has to all be fixed. But guys, look, I'll leave it out there, and hopefully you enjoy my Manly Seagulls versus Penrith Panthers match review for round 4. Obviously still disappointed, but hopefully you enjoyed the review either way. If you did, make sure to like the video, and make sure you subscribe to the channel, and make sure you comment your thoughts and feedback on the video. But guys, till then, I'll make a video later, and I'll catch you then.